historically women have gone after looks?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. No, actually, I think women
now
actually
more
go...
than ever.
I think women actually go after, like, dominance in a kind of way, like, the man who's manlier kind of thing. Like, even if you look back in history and stuff, they'll go after the man, I don't know, who's killed so many people. I don't know about history like that. But they'll go after these men that are showing their strength. You get it? Like, nobody wants a simp. So at the end of the day, everybody wants to go for a man that's showing his manliness. You don't have to be the best looking guy in the world. But as long as you are coming off as a man, I feel like you get it.
I think with dating apps, everybody's so looks focused now, the women included, you know, it's literally yes, no, yes. I mean, how can you make a decision about your husband by looking at one photograph on a dating app, you know? But they're doing it. They're saying no to these guys who are good guys, good character. Because they don't like the photo.
How much can you tell from one picture?
Well, you can't, but they're making that decision.
Who do you guys think is pickier with looks, men or women?
Men.
100%.
No, I think women for sure.
Would you guys,
how many women get with ugly guys?
Okay. So would you say that dating apps is primarily looks?
Yes.
Agreed.
Or I've seen a lot of things about like the captions as well, or how they slide into the DMs. I've never actually had like a conversation with a load of girls and it's about looks, not really.
Would you say that when people select on dating app, it's mostly through looks?
I don't really know because I've never really been on anything.
Well, I think men just swipe nearly off everyone and then they whittle down once they've got all the matches and work out who they want to invest time to get to know.
What percent of men do you think women swipe right on?
All of them. 5%.
5%.
Women, what percentage of men do women swipe on? I'm going to say like 10%.
10%.
Yeah. Probably 10%, yeah.
Yeah, I'd think that because obviously if you're in person, it's the same kind of thing. Like you get more guys trying to approach women than women trying to approach guys. I'm not going to lie, I've never approached a guy like that unless I was drunk or something and like it was for jokes. But I don't really do that. So I feel like if men are doing that anyway, why not on a dating app? Would men not be the ones to approach the women and stuff?
I don't think the men are analysing the profiles like the women are.
And so like, what percent of the time do you think men swipe right on dating apps? So wait, what do you think?
I was gonna. That's what I thought the question was for girls.
For girls and guys,
I think girls swipe on men like 5% because we expect men to be dominant and pursuers, but men swipe on all the women. I think 95% or 85%. Yeah. Because I have guy friends and some of them swipe left, so I'm just like,
They don't even look at their phone; they just swipe.
So who's pickier when it comes to looks, men or women?
But that's an unfair. That's an unfair thing to say.
I know guys; they will not find a girl attractive, and they'll still do what they're doing. If that makes sense.
I feel like to base it off a dating app is an unfair basis because when it comes down to it, men want someone who they think is beautiful. Women are more for the protection that they can get, what the how they can build a future with the man, so on and so forth. Looks do play a part. However, there's a lot more that feed into it, and a man is going to Okay,
but you don't think on a dating app it's mostly looks?
That's why.
So when we're selecting based on looks, who's pickier?
That's why I said it's unfair because a dating app is unfair because a woman is going to look at a lot more than just looks. Because for me, I can only speak for myself actually. But when I'm looking at someone's profile or whatever, I'm not even on dating apps to date just to say, oh, that sounds really bad. I'm not on the dating apps for any reason, just sometimes I'm bored. But
it's just a hobby for you.
but like, because you know, like at 2:00 in the morning, like I done scroll through Instagram, whatever. I'm just like, I'm about to go sleep.
Who are you trying to talk to at 2 a.m. in the morning?
I don't talk. This is the thing. This is the bad thing. I don't talk to anyone. I'm just like, oh, let me look at the weird people about, and that's what I'm saying. If I see someone who looks weird or interesting or something like that, then I might swipe right on them, have like a small conversation, see what I can learn from them, and then carry on with my day. It's not necessarily about looks and all these kind of things. And do
you think women are picky about height?
Oh yeah, 100%.
I don't know.
Yeah,
100%.
I can't speak on that.
Would you guys date a guy? Would you guys date a guy that is 3 inches shorter than you?
No. Because if you're already shorter than me, what about when I wear heels? You're gonna think people gonna think you're my child.
I think height.
I have done. I have done, and I'm quite tall.
I've dated some of my height.
No, shorter. I said
not
shorter.
3 inches shorter.
No, shorter.
No.
Shorter. No. Just curious, out of the guys, would you guys date a girl if she looked good 3 inches taller than you? Yeah. Blessing. He's nodding. Who's pickier, men or women, when it comes to looks?
But the height and looks, I feel like height and looks are different.
We could do weight even. Women weigh more than men.
This one though.
Yeah, do you know
the
what
thing is, I actually have the thing is with women, when women are bigger,
no, it's based on BMI. It's based on BMI. So women have like a worse BMI than men.
Yeah. But that's because we're curvier and we've got more. We've got thighs. We've got
hips, boobs, and bum.
No, it's just because we eat more.
Okay, fine.
But we do have like the extra weight. No one boobs and stuff.
No, but I'm saying like for our height. So like we're fatter for our height. So like if you look at BMI of a man and BMI of a woman, women are fatter.
I think women have to be pickier. I don't think that...
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying even with looks, we're pickier.
We have to be, though, because at the end of the day, man can go and do whatever they want with so many different women, but we have to think about our future offspring and all these kind of things. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to pick a man if I think he has bad genetics, if he has bad work drive, if he has bad all of these different kind of things. So I have to be picky.
What % of men do you think are sexually active?
100%.
All of them?
No.
Like
80% of men.
80%?
No, not
I think
so high.
65.
I think 99.9.
40%.
40% of
I
men?
think
40%?
There's a lot of pressure on men
I think
nowadays.
a lot of them are looking after themselves.
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh God, I don't like 99.9%.
You think 99.99%?
No, just something very high. I don't think anything. Maybe 80 something, yeah.
What if I told you 1 out of every 3 men under 30 are either virgins or haven't had sex in the past year?
I
believe
love
you.
that.
In which country though?
That.
This country.
I was mad.
I love that.
America.
There's a lot
Here.
of frustrated men out there.
There's a lot of
there?
incels.
But also, like, if you consider, like, you know, not every guy is a 10. Same with like not every girl is a 10, but there are guys who are socially awkward. There are guys that just don't have that game. There are a lot of guys that get missed out because they don't have that look that women are looking for, or they don't have that alpha that women are looking for. They get forgotten about.
And there's people who do it for religious purpose as well.
What? I promise you, these guys are not.
I
promise you.
Yeah.
Like, not even people that want to do it before marriage and that.
I know there's a couple. I guarantee it's not 33%.
Are these the nice guys then? You reckon these are the nice guys?
Yeah, they won't cheat on you. I mean, they got no one else to pick. But that's what I say. We pick instability, right?
Yeah.
We could pick the stable guys that aren't seeing anyone else, but we pick the guys that are seeing. Like that's why you guys think that all the guys are sexually active because you pick the guys that are.
They're the ones that are right.
What % of guys do you think are over 6 foot?
Oh, there isn't
Less
that
than
many.
10% probably.
No, maybe like 30%.
The guys that are over 6 foot that are what, active, or just how
Just
many
over
guys are
6
just
foot.
over 6 foot? Yeah, I'd say like, I don't know, like 40, 50% of men are over 6 foot.
No way.
40,
Where are you looking in
okay.
America?
I was like
No, but across the board,
25%.
not just UK, right? Across the board.
Maybe.
US, UK are where
US,
the stats
UK.
are based.
I know Americans are they're tall.
They're tall.
That's
There's
why they
something
play
in the
basketball.
water.
What about you?
I said maybe like 25%, I think.
25%?
Yeah, I'm going 20, 35%.
15%.
You see?
Wow. Okay, fair enough.
And these 5'2" women that are demanding a 6 foot plus man.
That makes no sense to me.
That is ridiculous.
Like if I can't I would get with a guy who's like still in the 5 foot because I'm only 5'5". You can be 5'9". As long as I'm in heels and I'm not over like
5'7" even is fine for
me.
you. Yeah.
But I think everyone's allowed to have a preference of height. Like,
Yeah, you can have a preference,
yeah.
but there's not enough to go around.
there's
why are you
not,
gonna be
but you can
5'1"?
find one.
I didn't say it was a bad thing. Like, I mean, historically, we needed a guy that could protect us. That's
What
why.
would you rather, stay single or just or wait for the 6 foot something guy to?
But listen,
become
there's only
available?
15% of these men that are over 6 foot, and you're telling me all the 5'2" want to be taking them.
But is this
A lot of the short girls are the ones that go for the extra. I like tall.
And what % of those guys have good jobs? And what % of those guys are good looking too?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like typically if you select a guy, he's had to meet multiple metrics. And it's a very small percentage of men that most women are after.
Yeah.
Guys get the raw deal. They really do.
No, those guys do.
Yeah, those guys. The other ones, they've got their
What
pick,
about the other
haven't they?
guys?
They've got their pick.
Yeah, those guys do. But then you have 1 out of 3 men that are either virgins or haven't had sex in the past year.
I love that.
I'm quite surprised.
Where
at
are
that
these men? Come on, start a dating site for these men.
Go to Tesco. Look at the guy working behind the counter.
It's true.
I mean, there's a million. You don't really notice it, but there's a million men that like we just like don't see.
Mm-hmm.
They feel invisible then, these guys, if they're not getting picked for the fact that they're meeting these metrics.
Yeah. I mean, you've heard like 6 foot, 6 figures, 6.
Six pack. I don't think there's many. What percentage of men have got a 6 pack? Not many. Most have got dad bods, even when they're not dads.
But there's like a thing which a lot of girls like dad bods. Have you heard that?
But what man likes a mum
like
bod?
that.
That's the question.
Exactly.
When you say mum bod, what do you mean?
Like the
one that's had a baby.
Yeah.
You know, I've had 3. I mean, thankfully, I'm not too in a state. But honestly, like, you know, women that have had children, men almost expect us to look like we've never had children.
Literally.
I don't think they expect that.
A lot of them do.
They do. They want you to keep in shape, regardless if you had children.
I think that's a pressure that we put on ourselves to do that.
I think there are a lot that don't expect that, actually. Or I just know some really kind men and really good men.
If the guy's not really like, I don't know. If
I don't think he's got the
appetite,
energy. He's going to be up all night with the baby. He ain't got energy to be doing that in those first 6 weeks.
These men find their energy somewhere. I'm telling you.
I also think
what percent of men can even get laid? Like, you have to understand, it's such a small percentage of men that even have girls coming to them like that to the point that they can cheat. It's maybe 10, 15, 20%. Like, it's hard. It's harder than you think for a guy to get laid.
I think that we think it's easier, but it is just the guys that women are choosing.
It's easier for women to get that side of things, I'd imagine, isn't it, really? Woman can go on a night out, quite easy for her to go home with a fella.
Anyone she wants, really.
There's a shelter down the street. You can just go and have.
It's true. It's so true. Yeah.